Your math test, oh dear children, looks like this. There's one side to the first page, and it is all multiplying with fractions. So the top part is basically show me the work and pick whichever choice matches your final answer. Put the letter on the blank. So that is true for 1 through 4 and 5. Now number 6. Number 6 is a story problem. It does not have the drawing, but it tells you everything you need in order to find the area of the rectangle that is described. And then, if you know how many inches are in 1 foot, this area will take you to a number of inches in that area. So if you can't figure that out, no problem, just leave this part blank. However, 2/3 of a foot and 1/2 of a foot, finding the area of that rectangle is part of the assignment. Number 7 is a little bit trickier. If Sasha is buying a dozen donuts, now dozen means a particular number. Dozen means 12. So Sasha's buying 12 donuts. 4/6 of those 12 donuts are in the bag already. How many more donuts? So this should not be a fraction. This should be a whole number because she is going to be buying whole donuts. Number 8, again, find the perimeter of a rectangle that has the length of 2/3 and 1/2 of a foot. So hopefully from the work you did yesterday on the review, you remember what to do to find area and what to do to find perimeter. So this is the new part of the test. There is also a part of the test that says 5th grade skill review. These are skills that all 5th graders in the United States are responsible to know in math. So turn 1/2 into a decimal. Compare these two decimal amounts. Yep, that's all the way back to the beginning of the year. Write this amount in standard form. This does not look normal. It's asking for a different form of this number. So that should help you, and it'll fit on that line quite nicely. The value of the 6, remember what it means if you are talking value. Value is not naming the place. So if you just tell me the place that the 6 is in, you will get this wrong. 5, 6, and 7. Why are these 3 different numbers? Because there are 3 different decimals that you need to compare. And oh wait, this one isn't a decimal. You cannot compare things if they don't talk about the same idea. Yes, you're talking about pieces here, but here your pieces are in hundredths. Here your pieces are in fourths. You will need to turn your fraction into a decimal before you decide which amount is larger, smaller, or equal. Number 8 is the opposite of number 3. Here it asks for standard form. Now it gives you the number. You need to write that number in expanded form. Number 9, multiply with decimals. Remember, if you're not adding and you're not subtracting decimals, you do not line up the decimals. You just doink at the end. So since you're multiplying, you put the part of the problem with the most digits on top, the part of the problem with the fewest digits on the bottom. You multiply through and add. It asks you to choose all that are correct, which means there is likely to be more than one answer here that is correct. Not guaranteed, but likely. 10 is a story problem. There's a lot of parts to it. June and Jack each order a special sandwich for lunch. $4.64 is the cost for each sandwich. So how many times do they have to pay $4.64? Well, Jack's time and June's time. So you have to pay for both sandwiches. Jack pays for both sandwiches. He gives a $20 bill. This is asking the change. So first you've got to know how much he was supposed to pay. Then how much extra did he pay? That will be the change he will get back. So there are two different steps in this problem. Number 11, Taika and her 4 friends. Taika is one person. 4 friends are 4 more people. If it says and, that means they did it all together. How many people bought this package of crackers? If you don't think about that, you will divide this total by the wrong number. And then it says you will need to round your final answer to the nearest cent. Why? Because cents, there's your dimes, there's your pennies. If your math goes to the 3rd place after the decimal, you will have to round and get rid of it because we don't have any coins that are smaller than pennies. So round to the nearest cent so that you have 2 places after the decimal. This should be review. Turn it over. This should be review. Always with fractions, your final answer that you circle must be in simplest form. Now this one you'll notice I don't give you a whole lot of workspace. When you divide by 100, dividing means your 6/8 will get even smaller. How many places smaller? 2 places smaller. So there still needs to be a 6 and an 8 in your answer. It just needs to be 2 places less than it is now. If you want to do it out long division, go over to the side and do it that way. 6.8 times 10,000. Again, power of 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 places larger. Right now it's 6.8. You need to move this so your answer is 4 places larger. Think of it this way. What's 6 times 10,000? Then what's 8? And where will that end up at? And this one, you just have to do the work. It is division. You have to show me that you know what to do with decimals when there is long division involved. Number 17. Basic multiplication. Rewrite it, solve the problem. Please be sure you circle final answers, especially on problems like these. And number 12, where there will be a fair amount of work, be sure that you have circled your final answer. Go carefully. If you try to rush through this, I guarantee you will make mistakes that will pull your grade down. Carefully. Thank you.